Hey y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. We are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. Now sit back, relax, and get ready to sip on this hot tea. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Professor Reynolds?
What's going on, Claudia? You still in New York?
No, I left early this morning and I'm in the Bahamas right now. So I'm
Really? Oh,
moving.
you starting your birthday early.
Yep, I got my little streaks in my hair. So you know what happens when my hair's done, y'all.
You gonna get it wet?
I hope yeah, sure. My hair, of course, I'm gonna get in the water. I hear you, Al. What's up, Al? Armand Wiggins, what's up, Armand? Y'all matching today, huh? With the black and white.
Yes. We usually do that every couple of shows. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's going to be a good show because we're matching.
That's right. How y'all feeling tonight? Y'all good?
I'm
Yes.
feeling fantastic. I'm ready to get into some things.
And I'm drinking, so
We
Oh.
love drinking out.
I've been drinking since last night. I was introduced to some very expensive shots. I never had some whiskey and yeah, and then pina coladas by the beach. And yeah, so it's gonna be like that for today, tomorrow, and Friday show. I'm just gonna let y'all know. Okay, so y'all ready to get into the show?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Interview Magazine dropped their spring issue, and Rihanna is gracing the cover in a nun outfit, but half of social media claims she's mocking Christianity, while the other half is saying it's just art and she's being edgy. Is there a double standard that exists for Rihanna to get praise for making art while Lil Nas X was criticized by the Christian community? Al, what do you think?
let me tell you something. At first, I really didn't understand what all the confusion was until I dressed as Jesus, a light-skinned Jesus, on Halloween on the show, and I got so much backlash in my inbox, in my DMs, both from my soulmates, some of my soulmates, as well as just people following me saying that I was disrespecting Christianity. And if I was a real Christian, that I wouldn't be dressing like that, or I wouldn't be mocking. They thought it was very mockery and they thought it was disrespectful. And at first I was like, but I don't understand, because for me, I'm able to separate my faith and being a Christian from when I'm just being entertaining. And for me, there's always been these types of Halloween costumes. So I thought just doing that Halloween costume would be okay. Now, the thing I love about Rihanna is Rihanna has been very vocal about being a Christian. She talks about how deep her faith is and what some of her prayer habits were. And she even talked very extensively about she can remember the first time she started praying, which when she was 7 years old. So for me, I don't think she's mocking her Christianity. I think she's simply using this to entertain, like an entertainment option. Like for me, I was doing it to entertain. It was for Halloween, so it was for entertainment purposes. So for me, that's how I will review. This is how I view it. Now, other people, they argue the opposite, but for me, I think it's okay.
All right, Armand, what do you think?
Yeah, for Rihanna, for me, she's always been one of those girls that push the limits with fashion. And maybe there's a little bit of a double standard and a bias because I just feel like, I expect nothing less from Rihanna. And I'm excited about it. She pushes fashion forward, and I think it's dope. Now, in regards to Lil Nas X, I think the difference is I feel like he went a little bit out of his way to forcefully show us I'm dancing with the devil. I've got devil sneakers with blood in it.
Right.
It was it felt super forced and it didn't feel fashionable. It didn't feel artistic. This feels artistic. This feels fashion. And we know Rihanna to be a fashion girl. We don't know Lil Nas X to be fashion at all. We know Lil Nas X to be a troll. So that's what that was. So to me, there is definitely a difference. And let's just be clear here. Rihanna, Lil Nas X, two different types of celebrities, and there's no shade.
Nyla Jones says, how is dressing up disrespectful? It's like Halloween. And so D'Angelo said, Rihanna has always been a talented artist that pushed to the edge with her image and music. This is no different. And Naima said, nah, she's mocking and out of line. The church, to me, until you clean up your house, I think that you have a lot of other things that you need to worry about than Rihanna posing with the non outfit on a cover of a magazine. Now, I agree with you, Armand, about the Lil Nas X, because that was more a demonic take. That's night and day. I don't feel like it's an evil thing that she was doing. And also, like I said, it just always amazes me the hypocrisy of some groups that just pick and choose when to be outraged. I'm gonna need the same outrage when we're talking about little boys getting touched than this magazine cover. I feel like this is should be a low level priority for y'all to be fussing about this. And it does look fashionable. And I don't think she was making fun. If she was making fun, that's one thing. I don't think she was making fun, but that's my opinion. But yeah, Rihanna, keep killing it. All right, Meek Mill is sticking beside his main man Diddy Meek took to social media and tweeted, "I don't believe no Diddy story once they lied about me. Now, y'all are confusing my son. He's 12 with people saying his dad gay. It's sick." He went on to say, "I'm not a part of the freak or coke part of the industry." Do you believe Meek's story? And do you think the rumors that Diddy and Meek were intimate are just made up? Armand, what do you think about these rumors?
I have to stand with Meek Mill on this. I totally support him, and I get it. And if I was in his shoes, I would say the same thing. And I see people on social media saying, "Well, he should have just kept quiet. He shouldn't have said anything." I feel like in this situation, he would have been damned if he did and damned if he didn't. So I'd rather speak out because people are still talking about how Usher isn't saying anything. And when you're quiet, you're assuming guilt, and people are just going to assume that it happened. So I feel like in any other situation, we would have said, if it wasn't you, you should come out and say, "Diddy ain't do this to me. This didn't happen." So I feel like we should support Meek Mill for being one of the only people saying, "I wasn't laying her up with Diddy. Diddy didn't take advantage of me." And I think that it's also something to be said to the fact that, hey, I don't need my 12-year-old son coming to me saying, "Hey, daddy, they're saying that you're gay on the internet. Are you gay?" So I stand with Meek Mill on that because he's like, well, if y'all gonna lie on me and I'm not doing it, I'm screaming out that I didn't do it, and you guys are using it against me, then I don't believe none of this because I know he didn't touch me. So I can't be mad at the man.
I always thought it was weird when people would troll people that defend themselves. Like, if you get accused of something that you didn't do, shouldn't you say, guys, it's not true? Al, what do you think about this?
Well, as a brand strategist, I am always very clear in the verbiage that's used. And if production can put that quote back up, I'll help you break it down just a little bit. For me, the young man, Rodney Jones, said that it was a Philadelphia rapper. Noah, and they alluded to a lot of people. The only one that really pushed back and said anything was Meek Mill. So for me, that's kind of a hit dog hollering. But look at the second sentence there, if you can put that back, production. "Anybody try to sexually assault me, it will be a bang out on the spot." What was interesting about this to me was he never said he never had sexual relations. He said he was not sexually assaulted. That's what another that I thought was interesting. And then the other thing that I thought he said that was interesting was about the freak or coke part of the industry. There are so many other parts of the industry like ecstasy, like ketamine. There's so many other things that you could be in relations and doing, and alcohol that you could be doing with Diddy, and not just coke and freak sessions. I think it's very clear that if you did not have any type of sexual relations with someone, you would say, "I had no sexual relations of any type with this man, and I did no types of drugs or alcohol with him." That to me is a true dealing with the rumors. All this other playing with words to me leaves it open for suspect, and that's exactly what people are doing.
Well, to be fair, his writing and tweets have never really been that clear or concise on social media. I don't know if you ever see that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, if you just put like a couple more words in there, like the sentence would be complete and we would actually feel what you're saying. We have a few comments here. Yaya 502 said, "Meek Mills is the epitome of down low. He's fighting like Boosie." Okay, Unique Goddess said, "What straight man lets another man call him daddy?" Oh, it's true.
Also, I don't care if I don't know how to complete a sentence or not. If I did not have any sexual relations with the person, I would know how to type that in my tweet. I had no sexual relations or partied or did any drugs and alcohol with Diddy. That's easy. That's easy.
I think you're saying that though, but I just don't think he's as smart, maybe as you, and able to articulate it that way. He did it in his like South Philly way. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't mess with that man. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe we're probably looking at it like we're expecting a little bit more, and I don't think he probably has that capacity. But
Sleepy ZZZ said, "Them hood Philly bottoms, a mess child." And damn, y'all going hard on me. Latest Celebrity News said, "Nah, they say Hit Dog will holler. He's merely tweeting and ranting about this and other stuff.
Yeah.
Ever since giving guilt." I'm sorry. You know what, Meek Mills? I think you know the show because I've definitely seen, you on social media. We like to invite you on TJF, and we can clear this up on our platform and offer that to you where you can actually get a clear statement out in an interview. I would love to put that out there for you to come on this show, and we'll provide a safe space for you to do that. Because, I always quote your rap lyrics all the time. So I'd love to, get you on here. All right. Xscape once sang, "Who can I run to?" And it looks like Latasha Scott recently ran to the courts. Xscape announced a tour and reality show with SWV, but Latasha Scott will not be participating and reportedly wants her cut still. Latasha has filed court documents against Live Nation and Mona Scott Young's entertainment company due to claims of the company infringing on her rights to use the group's name without her getting clearance from her. Does Latasha have a point, and how do you think this will play out since she rightfully owns 50% of the trademark, Al? What do you think about this?
I think this is a tricky one, and she doesn't actually own it outright. So this is a deal. So she doesn't want the rest of the crew because she doesn't mess with them, right? Latasha said, I'm not touring with them. I'm not singing with them. Therefore, I don't want them to use it. However, they are joint owners of the trademark, and this is what makes it legally kind of tricky for Latasha. And they are listed as her and her sister, Tamika. Now, the sister, because she's 50% owner, can grant the use to whomever she wants because she's 50% owner. Now, this is where Latasha's going to get in trouble. Latasha has not paid her half of the trademark cost. Tamika paid the full cost of the trademark cost. So Tamika, in essence, can say, go screw yourself. I paid it. You didn't. I have ownership of it. And I can give it to anybody that I want. And how can Tamika do that? Because she was supposed to pay half. When she didn't pay half, she was in breach of contract and removed. And her sister can actually have her removed and not even need her sister's permission if her sister chooses to do so.
Armand, what do you think?
Well, I feel like, Al, you ate that right on up. So I don't think that there's much to put. I mean, Claudia, do you got anything on that?
Dear, I'm gonna read some of the comments from the soulmates. Dear Arthur, Tiny owns some of the trademark too. And Keisha L said Tasha's mad the album went wood. And wow, Rejuve you said Latasha is a hater. Incog said, how do you want to cut when you're not even going on tour?
Right.
And Henry Gibbons said what a few other people have said, oh Lord, I think that's her husband pushing her to do that.
So this is the question that I want to know. Would you guys let a brand that you worked so hard all your life to build, right? Would you just walk away from it this easily because of a dispute between your husband and your sister? Like, I don't know that I would just walk away from this.
I probably wouldn't, but I feel like the group has always had a messy kind of energy, and Natasha's always been the one who's wanted to be separate from the group. So it's always been an ego play with her and the rest of the group. So I see why this is happening, but at the end of the day, hey, girl, if you ain't paid your bill and now you're trying to stop the rest of the group from doing it, you're just doing this to be a hater. This has nothing to do with, money at this point. You're just because you're not on it, you don't want, she should get over it. Either get on stage and sing or don't and shut up.
To answer your question, Al, if it was really messing me mentally, then yeah, I would. And I helped start that one. I'll do another one. At this point, I think they have irreparable damage. I don't know a few years now. So yeah, I mean, she doesn't really seem part of the group anymore now, right? She kind of does, and she's like the odd man out.
I just don't,
and don't try to hold the rest of the group back because you don't want to be in it anymore.
I don't think that I would walk away from the check, especially they did very well. They're doing well. Their fans are rallying for them. They're making money. I just wouldn't walk. I would be like, okay, when I'm on stage, I'll be nice and friendly. When I get off, I'll go my way, go home, get out of here, do whatever. I just don't think I would walk away from the money.
I mean,
but like you said,
really hate each other. They must.
Yeah, but like you said, if it's like emotionally taxing for her, then I guess you can't put a price tag on that. But
yeah. JW said Latasha singing "Who Can I Run To When I Need a Bug." Oh, you know what? Let me move on, Latasha, girl. And she's been on our show here, actually. Coming up next, guess what used clothing Tiffany Haddish is selling. Find out what Sierra, Beyonce, Janet, and J.Lo are fighting for. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Scene 103, take one.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm going to respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
I hug you.
Yes. If it made you feel that way, bro, I would probably do. I love you too.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all. Tiffany Haddish is driving crazy and not with her DUIs this time. She's thinking about selling some used clothing. Take a look.
But I got so many clothes, I could probably go 6 months without washing no clothes. Because that's how many pair of underwears I got. But I need to get rid of all that stuff. I could sell them drawers. That's what I should do. I should sell them panties. That'll be a lot of money for the foundation, I feel like. Yeah. Should I sell my underwear, y'all?
What are your thoughts on Tiffany's new business venture, Armand? You here for it
Of
or
course you gotta
not?
be in a be careful. I'm just be honest with you. I know y'all probably not gonna like this, but I cannot stand Tiffany Haddish. I don't like nothing
Really?
about
Why?
Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is everything but funny. Okay, I'm tired of Tiffany Haddish, and I just think she's a nuisance to the internet. And I wish we would have left her in 2017 on the girls' trip and never made it out. I just feel like Tiffany Haddish, we don't want your panties. Nobody is looking to buy your panties. Tiffany Haddish is not nowhere near sexually attractive, appealing. No one's buying those old panties. You can keep those panties in the drawer where they belong. Common didn't want those panties, and neither did the children at the charity. Nobody want those panties. Keep them to yourself and keep that to yourself. Okay, and stay off the liquor. She's drinking again. Somebody go get her. She's trying to sell some panties now. I'm over Tiffany Haddish.
I guess you are,
Yeah.
Al.
I'm sorry. I'm tired of Tiffany Haddish.
Al.
Well, you know, I'm of course not tired of Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany, I would consider a friend, and I think she's absolutely a beautiful Black woman. She's in shape. Her body's always banging. Her outfits are usually very nice when I see her. I view Tiffany as a comedian, and I think she pushes the boundaries with some of her commentary. And I just view it as her talking crap and she trying to be funny. Now, the one thing that I've said on this show before is one thing you don't want to do, though, Miss Haddish, in being smart, is sell used underwear. And the reason being you don't sell used underwear is because it doesn't matter how many underwear. And for women, there are various forms of DNA that I don't need to go over here that could be in the underwear that a weirdo could use that DNA and place it somewhere, like possibly on the scene of a crime, and your DNA, if found, can be used against you. And it only takes one weirdo to do something really weird, and everybody knows who you are. They know where the panties came from, and you can find yourself in a very sticky situation. So, Tiffany Haddish, I think you're funny. I think you're beautiful, but I think this is a very dumb idea.
I think
What's your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke?
I don't know. Everything she says is funny to me. Like, Tiffany Haddish in the movie are funny. Tiffany Haddish, when I hang with her at dinner, she's hilarious. She's cracking jokes. Tiffany Haddish is just like one of those people that just I relate to.
Have you guys hung out? I remember we all saw her in Aruba. Have you guys been hanging out?
Yeah, we have. You know, well, I don't want to. Yeah, we have. Yeah. No, not like that. Not like that. But, you know, I've seen her around, you know, LA quite a bit.
Okay. All right. Tiffany, I think you're just joking. I don't think you're being serious at all. I do know you do have probably a lot of clothes because I know people send you a lot of stuff. I wouldn't mind you. There's nothing wrong with like going on Poshmark and putting, gently worn gowns, dresses, notable outfits you had on and put them on there. Of course, the underwear. I hope you're joking because that's we'll leave that for the OnlyFans girl. You are too talented for that. But I think you're joking.
And she too old for that. Ain't nobody buying Tiffany Haddish panties.
First of
Let's
all,
be
you will
real.
not age shame people, Armand. There are people
No,
that
I'm just saying, like, let's be real here.
panties, trust
Ain't
me.
nobody buying Tiffany Haddish panties.
Whose
Period.
panties would you buy, Armand? Whose panties would you buy?
Definitely not Tiffany
Nobody.
Haddish.
Give me a girl with panties you'd buy.
I buy Lizzo's panties over Tiffany Haddish.
You know what?
Oh my God.
Blue Sporty said she's absolutely beautiful, like us all. We all have dips and dives of happy. Give her some grace. Jeez. Manifest Love says, yes, it's something about her I never liked. And I tried to like her. We have a similar like background. She's so cringe. And Shelby W said some celebrities don't need access to IG Live because people really be acting crazy. All right. Well, good luck with everything. I hope you sell your gowns. Sell your gowns, Tiffany, because I think you'll make money. Like that outfit, super cute. I'd get that. All right, Missy Elliott just announced she's going on her first headlining tour ever. She's also bringing Ciara, Busta Rhymes, and Timbaland along for the Out of This World tour. Now, Missy has written and produced for everybody, super talented, and she's had quite the glow up and across the board on everything. Which artist would you love to see make a guest appearance on the tour, Al?
Aaliyah. No, I'm kidding.
That's what I was gonna say.
Aaliyah, please come back. Please come back. Oh, I know, Claudia.
Oh my God, please.
I don't know. Because there's just so many memories. This was my time. This is my era. This is my generation. Let's see who she's got. Busta, which is amazing. I love the fact, that Ciara has joined, and Timberland she's worked with forever. Who else would I like to see besides Aaliyah? I don't know. Go to Armand.
I feel like that's the only other person I would like to see because at this point, Missy Elliott can carry the show on her own. Like the fact that this is like her first headlining tour ever, this is going to be amazing. Missy's got hits after hits. So honestly, she doesn't really need too many guests. If I'm going to a Missy show, I don't want that many guests, to be honest with you. Sierra, you give me a couple of y'all bangers, Busta Rhymes, you go do your thing. But I need the full Missy Elliott experience with the fashion, the dancers, the hanging from the ceiling, the futuristic vibes. I need the full effect. I want to feel out of this world. And I believe that she's going to give us that. Like, it's going to take me back to my high school days. And I'm super excited about it. So, yeah, it's going to be a great show. And I'm definitely going to be there.
Okay, I have my suggestions. Okay, of course, that iconic video that Busta Rhymes did with Janet Jackson. If she showed up and surprised us in like one of the cities,
that would be good.
I would love that.
Yeah, okay, I'll sign up for that.
I would love Genuine. He's part of the crew, like him, Missy Elliott, and Timbaland. They all created magic. They were all part of the same squad. I think he would be good in a few of the cities, especially on the East Coast. And I have one more.
Right. Now he's from Baltimore, right? She's from Virginia, so that would be a good DMV tie-in.
I like to bring the whole DMV in, and I think that would be good for me. Oh, and Jamie Foxx can come out with Busta Rhymes for Pastor Cavassier. We haven't seen.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But don't take too much time away from Missy now. It's too much time now because I didn't pay for
you pushing
too
it
many
now,
people.
Claudia.
You go to the jail. You do loving them.
I'm entitled to my opinion, and like
you are.
We all talk about people that are deceased. I can talk about people that are alive and ready to be booked. Okay. I remember LA 15 years ago when that song came out. It used to get the club popping, and I remember those times, and it was lots of fun. Hey, these are my suggestions. Let me live. Can I live? At least I'm picking people that are alive. All right. Glitter Gloss took to Twitter. And
if they do a hologram, though, like they did Michael Jackson when he did the hologram in Vegas, if they did a hologram, I know the crowd would roar. I wonder if they have to get the permission from Aaliyah's estate or from the record label to do a hologram. Because if they did a hologram, I promise you, it would blow the ceiling off of the tour.
That would be everything.
Terrence Moore said Little Mo, Speaker Queen said Genuine. Keith Dennis said Tweet, and Candace said The Brat 702, Little Kim, and Tweet. Okay. All right, we'll see. Glitter Gloss took to Twitter and said, opening my baby gifts, and it's 4 toy guns. Do y'all allow your kids to play with toy guns? Because I don't. Should we stop with kids? Should we stop kids from playing with toy guns? And do you think it influences crime? Mom, what do you think about the toy gun?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had toy guns as a kid. We had water guns. We had like the Toy Story guns. I mean, we had cops and robber guns. And I just feel like it's just all communication and teaching in the household. Like we were taught that, you don't use guns for bad. Like my parents set us down and, educated us on those things. Like, but you can't hide kids from everything because kids are seeing guns and stuff at school. They're playing video games with guns. So, there's no way to shelter or hide your kids from them. And I feel like when you try to hide them from things, that's when they go out seeking it and want to try it more. So a toy gun, you just let them know that there's boundaries with that, and I haven't had any problems in my family with, shooters or killers. And, I got 9 brothers and sisters. We all had toy guns. We all played cops and robbers. We had handcuffs and everything.
That's where it started with you, huh?
I guess, right.
Well, I have to agree with Amon, and so does research studies and psychologists, renowned psychologists, and they have shown that there's no link between young people playing with toy guns and then later aggression and violence in their growth in their adult age. In fact, they say that gunplay can actually serve to encourage symbolic play, which is what Amon was just talking about, where the parents use it as a teachable moment on the different ways to respect the object that you're pretending to be a gun, which is developmentally good and actually extremely appropriate for younger children.
I don't like kids playing with guns, and I don't like this generation of kids playing with guns. I think it's a different time between now and like 20, 30 years ago, 40 years ago when we were kids. I think there was, we also had more of a balance. Like we were outside playing. We were actually playing, hide and seek. We were getting fresh air. We didn't believe everything that was like, we didn't have an internet to like be influenced by. And I think we were different. I think we were okay and well adjusted to be like, pow, pow, got you, you're dead. These kids now, I feel like a lot of them have emotional issues. They're like, they don't take rejection easily. And I just see like, I think that there's a desensitization with video games and guns, and I don't trust these kids playing with I don't know. I feel like it's just too easy. Like it just took away the scariness of a real gun. That's my opinion. Again, I'm not a mom, but I don't like to see these young, new, unstable kids. I think 70s and 80s babies okay. Jay.
I think there's some point to that, Claudia, because if you're just running the streets, right, and playing with guns and no one's teaching you, right, about the use of it and what the social understanding of the gun is, could possibly be what you say. But if you are supervised like Armand and like I know my mother was like, even a toy gun, you couldn't point at her. You couldn't point.
Yes.
She taught me like almost as if it was a real gun. So in my adult life, I had that understanding. But yeah, you're right.
Oh, you were blessed with good parents. There's a lot of, and one more thing I gotta add real quick, thinking of like all the victims. Police nowadays are not thinking, they're just jumping the gun and using anything. Well, we thought they had a real gun, and 12-year-old Tamir Rice had a gun playing by himself in a park and was gunned down with a toy gun. That's another reason. It's mostly that kind of stuff that would make me be like, nah. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, we have your fact of the day, and later we answer some T-mail. Let's see what y'all have to ask us. I hope they're fun. We'll be right back.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Please welcome Al Reynolds and our new official co-host, Armand Wiggins, who has brought lots of fire to the show.
TGIF.
To be here, being unapologetically me on a platform like this, I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to make magic with you guys.
Every weekday.
I knew you were the right person because you make me want to be better as myself. So thank you for that.
On Fox Soul.
You're going to get graphics from time to time. That's part of being part of the TGI family.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all, we can all agree that social media tends to resurface some of the most random facts in pop culture history. So it's only fair that we unpack those facts in our T Fact of the Day. Today's T Fact comes from Tisha Campbell. She revealed that years before her Martin fame, she dated Lenny Kravitz. But there's more. She revealed how she found out that his mom was Roxy Roker, who played Helen on The Jeffersons. Take a look.
I was in the car with Lenny and our friend Amaris. I think his name was Amaris. Anyway, so I'm looking at him and I'm going, oh my God, he knows all these famous people. And then his mom comes out. He's like, hey, Mom. And I was like, Roxy Roker is your mother?
All right, did y'all know that Tisha dated Lenny? That's one. And did you know that Roxy Roker was his mother and that inspired her role in The Jeffersons? Al?
No, but I love it. I mean, this is the type of stuff that, especially being in Hollywood, like this shows you the deep roots of Lenny Kravitz in Hollywood and how long he's been in the business and how long he's been around Black excellence, in my opinion. And I love these types of stories and walk down memory lane that Tisha does, because it also just shows how long she's been in the business and around the business. I love these types of stories, so I can never get enough of them. I like it.
Now, of course, Lenny's biracial. His father's white. So for Roxy's role as Helen on The Jeffersons, she was also married to a white man because the role was based on her life. Armand, what do you think about this story?
I love it because I just think it's always interesting to find out, when people are, feeling free to talk. You just find out who's all dating and how, close in proximity everyone has been, in Hollywood. Everybody knows everybody to some degree, and everybody's kind of messed around. And, the tea sipper in me, the tea finder in me is always like, so y'all were getting it in. And it just makes me think of like, who right now in this day and age is in a relationship, and we'll find out 20 years from now. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's always interesting to know who's been, knocking boobs.
I like that she's able to keep it private for so long and tell it when she wants to. Like, that's my kind of there. All right. She also revealed that the same dressing rooms of the cast of The Jeffersons used years later became the exact dressing rooms used for her and the cast of Martin. Wow, who knew that? All right. Who was this that I knew that was his mom, but didn't know he dated Tisha? Yeah, I had no idea about that. So good for her. All right, Tisha. I want to read your book, girl. I think she got a lot of stories about.
A lot of tea in there.
Yep. All right, let's get back to the topics. Social media had a debate with mixed reviews. Now, they were arguing over who was the better dancer between Janet Jackson, Beyonce, Ciara, and Jennifer Lopez. Now, if you're trying to win a dance competition, which dancer are you picking to go on your team and why? Armand, who do you got?
Okay. They're all, first of all, phenomenal. And, oh, my God, if I have to pick, oh my gosh.
This is tough. This is definitely
It's very hard because J-Lo is a hell of a performer and a hell of a dancer. Beyonce knows how to sell it, though. She embodies the whole performance and she has so much energy. But Ciara and Janet are more technical. Like, they do intricate movements. So you know what? I think I'm going to go Janet Jackson in her heyday, in her prime.
Al?
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say when it comes to executing an 8 count, I don't think anybody does it better than Janet Jackson and Beyonce. I view them as singers and the ultimate performers. Now, when I'm talking about a dance crew, like we out in the streets dancing, I feel like the best dancers and performers are J-Lo and Sierra. If I had to pick one, I'm going to dust off that Sierra, the younger Sierra, you know, before all the kids, even though I think she's going to get it back for the Missy Elliott tour. But I'll dust off that Sierra and put her in any dance competition with anybody, just hands down. So for me, it's Sierra.
I can't pick one. I can't, like, all of them. And I want to throw Solange in there after that clip I posted recently with Solange and Beyonce. I didn't know Solange was eating the girls up like that. Like, she really can dance. I feel like Sierra is like, she gives you like girl from the hood, but then also can do like the fly upscale stuff. I just feel like J-Lo, she's a bomb performer. Beyonce makes me feel it. Like, she does sell it. And Janet, like,
when Janet hit that edit,
yeah,
she go crazy. That pop, pop. Like, I'm going Janet, man. Who you got, Claudia? Come on.
I don't know.
It's hard. This one's really a hard one.
It is. Oh, Janet.
But you got to know, Janet was the original. You always want to see Janet break down a dance move.
Pleasure Principle is when I was like, oh my God. Like, I loved, she was just so fly in that video and just so easy. Okay. Crystal Steve said, Janet birthed them all. And Ramon Rosado said, Sierra has to be the best dancer out of all of them. And Honey said, Janet, the rest are her daughters. Okay, everyone's saying Janet. Debbie Bryant said, Janet is the mother, Janet is the queen. I like seeing Janet.
That All For You video, Janet, when she hit that edit, that was crazy.
But let's be very clear. None of these girls are getting shat on. None of them. They all are bringing it. Like, there's no scrubs in this group. Amazing group. This was hard. Sheenie Beanie said, Beyonce, you want to watch her perform. Yes, she's so good too. Okay.
Beyonce sells it the most, and she has the most stamina. But I also feel like between Beyonce and J-Lo, they can go head to head. Just J-Lo doesn't have the vocal chops. But J-Lo, do not sleep on J-Lo, because J-Lo, she can perform up there with Beyonce.
I went to a J-Lo concert in Vegas. I didn't know a lot of the songs, but that performance was everything. And her body is ridiculous and looks really untouched. Like, she looks good. Okay, moving on. That was hard. Legendary actor Billy D. Williams is sounding off about actors using blackface. He spoke out saying he didn't understand why white actors could not use blackface. He said, if you're an actor, you should do everything you want. Whatever you think you can do, you should be able to do it. Does Billy D have a point? Or does he just takes the craft of acting more seriously than others? Al, what do you think?
I think, I'm going to give him a little bit of grace here and say that he probably takes the craft of acting more seriously. So maybe when you think about it as a creative and when you think about it just in the terms of an actor, that's the only thing that I feel like it's going to make sense to me, because I feel like if any African-American actor knows the root of blackface, you wouldn't be saying that it's okay. I just feel like it's just derogatory, it's dated, it's disrespectful, and it's hate speech on your own people.
All right, Armand?
I absolutely 100% agree with that. But I also feel as though, he's 87 years old. So at this point, he's a little set in his ways. During that time, that was okay. But in 2024, that would never be okay. A lot of things that has happened in the past, we're now up to speed with. And we're like, hey, hold on. It wasn't cool. Like, blackface is never cool. Just because you grew up doing that during that time, it wasn't okay. But I also understand the mindset. He's just kind of like, well, that's what we did back then. And I didn't know to be offended by it, or it is what it is. And this is a part of the craft. So it's kind of 50-50 for me. But at some point, you do it as an older man, you need to understand, hey, that wasn't right. We ain't doing no blackface in 2024. Right. It's not a compliment. It's not artistic. It's outright disgusting. And it's demeaning to black people. Right.
Yeah, I get what he's saying about some acting roles. Like, say you have to look lighter or darker and you're a black person. I think that should not be considered blackface. To me, blackface was when they're making fun of us as caricatures with the oversized lips, the exaggeration. That is clear blackface. Now we're making it where you can't even put green paint on your face or yellow. It's like, it's yellow face, it's white face, it's this. And I think, like always, our outrage a lot of times gets hijacked by the dominant culture, the dominant race, right? Like, I'm hearing people saying white face now. Like, if you put on white makeup to be lighter for a character. Yeah, there's got to be, I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. Like, of course, being respectful about where blackface has come from. And then also not being overly ridiculous where every single thing is deemed as blackface, because everything's not. Unique Jacob says, he's old. He knows the root. He is the root. It was normalized. Okay. Mr. Ron said, because of the history of blackface, it should not be used by anybody, especially non-African Americans. And Honeybee said, absolutely not, Mr. Dementia. I said what I said. I said, okay, Billy Box, ready. We don't need an old shuck and jive. Oh, wow. Okay. And Honey said, Quincy Jones would never say no ish like that. Okay. They are not letting Billy be off limits. All right. We read your comments and we hear you. All right. Keep it locked because coming up next, find out who the sexiest man alive.
I can't wait for this one.
And later, find out who we would marry. Oh, Lord. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Please welcome Al Reynolds and our new official co-host, Armand Wiggins, who has brought lots of fire to the show.
TGIF.
To be here, being unapologetically me on a platform like this, I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to make magic with you guys.
Every weekday.
I knew you were the right person because you make me want to be better as myself. So thank you for that.
On Fox Soul.
You're going to get graphics from time to time. That's part of being part of the TGI family.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back, y'all. All right, it's now time for us to give advice to our soulmates who are dealing with crazy situations and may need a little guidance from us. This is our T-mail of the day. All right, y'all, this T-mail comes from Jasmine in Florida, Miami, Florida. She writes, Claudia, Alan, Armand, you all might have to pull me off my soon-to-be mother-in-law. I'm getting married this summer, and like a lot of mothers, she does not want to let her son go. I overheard my fiance's mom calling me a gold-digging heifer at a recent family gathering. She doesn't even know I make more than her son, and I'm paying for most of the wedding. Okay, let me get back to the point. My fiance tells me to ignore her, which isn't hard to do because she stays out of town, but the next time I will see her is at our wedding. My fiance is against me not inviting her. What should I do? Do y'all want to pull up? Oh, Armand, let's go to you first. Let's hear what the youth has to say about this.
I just personally feel as though at this point, you're probably going to have to deal with her forever, because that is his, mother, and it's an unfortunate situation, and it will be hard. And I hate situations like this. But unfortunately, when you marry someone, you do marry into their family. So you need to talk to your husband, and he needs to tell his mom to step back and let go, because eventually you guys will have your family of your own, and she'll just have to deal with it. And if she can't understand that, you may have to take a break from her for a while, and if your husband doesn't get that, then he may not be the one for you, because you don't need her making your life a living hell, because once kids start to get involved, it can just get really, really messy. And we learn from Little Scrappy and Mama D and Bambi, you don't want that.
You don't. All right. Al, what are your thoughts? What's your advice?
I think my advice in this will be communicate. I think you should create or schedule a time where you and the husband talk about it, and then you and the husband take it to the mother. I don't think it would be a good idea not to invite her, because that is a huge moment, especially if the husband is is close to the mother. You know, the mother son, the groom mother dance is really important at a wedding. So I would not invite her. And then just think about it. Maybe if you could just get through the wedding, if you can't communicate with them, maybe if you can just get through the wedding, you can then start to distance yourself after that, even though I don't recommend that. But I think it'll be a bigger problem if you don't invite her. And as far as us pulling up, what city are you in? Depending on the city, depending on my schedule, I love a good party. And Claudia knows this. I love a good wedding where I can drink.
You know wine. Don't do it. Your boss waiting. You be like, where the wine go? I'm gonna say this, and I see some of the comments. Saucy Fresh says, "Why would anyone marry a mama's boy?" And Perfect Peace said, "Don't marry him. She will ruin your marriage." You have to have a serious conversation with your man. I think he's the one that needs to have a conversation with his mother. That is something that's very delicate. That's his mama. You need to have a conversation with how important this is to you. How you don't want your day ruined. And he has to make his mother understand that you are the woman he chose to be with. Right. And she's going to have to, if she loves him, she's going to have to like get through this for him, or at least put on a happy face, because, you know, the mother got to be invited. That would be horrible if she's not invited. And, you know, he will resent you later on if you don't get this taken care of. And if he has an unnatural relationship with his mother where he won't do that and stick up for his wife, then I would reconsider this whole thing. I would. You need to protect me, protect our relationship. That's your mom.
Let me add to this. I feel like the way that you get that, right? You try to make the effort to talk to the mom. You do those things so then he can go back and be like, see, mom, she tried. Because clearly he's stuck between two women. So you have to put a little bit more effort into it so then he can have your back. So if you just try to shut her out and disinvite her, then he's not going to be able to, you're not giving him anything to work with. So you got to manipulate the situation a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bernice Johnson said she lives out of town. Just deal with her through the wedding and just invite her. And Rosemary Watson said, I always thought Candy let her mother have too much say about Todd. It's poison. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good luck with that. That's problems that we don't have, right?
No, I like my mother-in-law. She's cool. I love her.
Mother-in-law, you married?
We might be.
I think he told on himself, Claudia.
Yeah. All right. We love it. Soulmates, be sure to DM Fox Soul on Instagram if you are in need of some advice. Who knows? Your letter might just get read here live on the show. All right, let's get back to some more hot topics. A woman recently tweeted about a guy she was interested in. She wrote, this guy has been applying pressure for a minute. Decent job. High-ranking military, no kids. But the biggest red flag was when I walked in the bar and about 4 chicks told me they smashed him. But wait, there's more. One user replied to her and shared that it wasn't a red flag and said, sounds like you got intimidated because he got options outside of you. Does this scream red flag or that the woman is insecure? And is it normal for strangers to tell you that they slept with a man they see you out with? Armand, what do you think about this?
Well, child, you asking me in the gay world, child. You can walk into the bar and see about 4 or 5 men you done smashed. So I just think it is. I mean, it just happens. But listen, it could be a red flag, or it could just be a small town. And so I just think things could be different, you know, for you. So if he's pursuing you, that doesn't mean you have to smash him. You might can be the change that he's seeking. And so I wouldn't take that for granted, okay? I would pursue him if you like him. And you know what? Those other girls were just one-night stands that obviously didn't work. So maybe you'll be somebody or something different.
All right, Al, what do you think?
You can't say that that's a red flag. The man is obviously attractive and can pull women, and he likes sex. I mean, what else? You'd be questioning him if he didn't. Right. You'd be calling him gay. So shoot, which way do you want it, woman? Do you want him to like women, or do you want him to like men? Like, what are we doing here? I think it's okay that he's using his yang yang or his ping ping to do women. You better be glad it ain't a bartender or a man walking up to you saying, "Oh, you know, I know you're a man too, wink, wink." Like, I don't know, women, which way do you want it?
Okay, let me Let me ask you this: if it was the reverse, right, and it was a man with a woman, and 4 men came up and said, "Yo, I had sex with your girl,"
Throw it in the trash. Throw it back to the sea.
absolutely.
Back to the sea you go. Back to the sea you go. Nobody want no floozy.
Absolutely not. I get ran through like that.
Don't nobody want no
city.
floozy that
Are you
everybody's coming up and
crazy?
telling me, oh, bro,
Yes,
you know, I
that's out
smashed
of
your
control.
chick.
Get her out of here.
Out of here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the clinic. Because Claudia George said that your pH balance is off.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to prove a point. Sometimes I don't even have to say anything. I let the fellas just tell on themselves.
Floozy.
Okay. Okay. Met a slow horse.
They said she might got herpes from the nail shop.
Right.
Yeah, immaturely out, ladies. Stay away from them. All right, Essence Magazine recently revealed their sexiest man of the moment list, and actor Damson Idris scored the #1 spot. Do you agree? Who is the sexiest man of the moment to you? Armand, who do you think?
Let me get in line. I'll be number 4, 5, or 6. I'll wait my turn for this one. Listen, you guys remember that show where I told you, I was like, he is so fine. You guys were all kind of hating on him. Remember? And I told you, he is a beauty. Let me tell you something. I love Damson. I think that he is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal actor. But you know, that Franklin Saint that's something to really get into. The way he can turn on that British accent and then turn into a hood street LA gangster. I like that with that smooth chocolate skin. I don't know what happened between him and Lori Harvey. I'm trying to figure out why she ended up letting him go, because he's a good catch.
You see, Claudia's not moving.
What?
Al?
I will say this. He's a very handsome man, and his British accent does make him attractive. But I've seen him all award season. He's just a little tiny for me. Like, I don't know. You know, I think he's just a little small. But, you know, so
is he short?
It's not that he's short, it's just like structurally he's just tiny. So sexiest to me, I understand, I get it. I'm not gonna hate any man that gets it, congratulations. But I'm gonna tell you, when is the light-skinned man coming back? I feel like there's been campaigns lately that us light-skinned men can't get voted back in as sexiest man of the year. I think next year, if I don't see somebody that's fair skin or light skin, I'm gonna think it's discriminatory.
Well, why don't you recommend some right now? Who would you know? Sexiest light-skinned man then?
Okay, light skinned man. Let's see, who would I recommend? I like who?
I said C.
Oh no, there are quite a few. Like, okay, but see, I'm thinking of older people. Like, I think Boris Kojo is extremely handsome. I think Sky Black is extremely handsome. I think what's his name? Claudia, you know who I'm talking about on the cop show. He's been around for years.
Shamar Moore?
Huh? Shamar Moore. I think he's extremely handsome. Who else on the younger side? The new guy that played in the that British guy. Okay, a British light-skinned dude. The guy that played Malcolm X. The guy from Bridgerton. The guy that played Malcolm X and Malcolm X in Martin Luther King movie. There's so many.
Okay.
Claudia?
Damson to me is I'm not. He's way too petite. I don't like petite men. My shoulders are bigger than your shoulders. I'm not attracted. Not saying he's not attractive. He's not just my. I like a older, sexier man. I like I think Idris Elba is very masculine and handsome and comes off very classy. But I know he also likes to have fun. But he's a married man. We're just giving out pics like this. Doesn't mean I'm trying to get at these people. Who else is good looking? That's my pick. I think he should constantly be in the sexiest man conversation. I really think
he was though, wasn't he at one time? I think Idris did win sexiest man.
And I actually think that Lenny Kravitz is sexy too. And for 60 years old, that man looks good.
He's attractive, but he's a little petite as well.
Yes, he's little.
Really?
Yeah, really little.
Yeah. Russell Wilson was also named sexiest man of the moment. He was on that list as well. So, all right. Coming up, we are playing a game of cuff, smash, or pass. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Maybe some people from the list will be on there. We'll be right back.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Please welcome Al Reynolds and our new official coach, Armand Wiggins, who has brought lots of fire to the show.
TGIF.
To be here, being unapologetically me on a platform like this, I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to make magic with you guys.
Every weekday.
I knew you were the right person because you make me want to be better as myself. So thank you for that.
On Fox Soul.
You're going to get graphics from time to time. That's part of being part of the TGI family.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back. Oh, during the break, another fine light-skinned brother Al spoke to me from the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, who has a black girlfriend, a black female agent.
That's right. Armand, you don't know this, but back in the day, Claudia used to date the finest athletes, the finest entertainers. She was pulling them deep.
Don't make her black.
Back in the day, man, Miss Claudia Jordan. Y'all don't know.
Listen, I didn't date a ton of athletes, but when I did, they were at the top of their game, and they were very handsome. I didn't date them just because they were rich. I dated the ones that were fun.
Very rich, with the biggest contracts in the NFL. Thank you very much.
Fine now, Al. Well, they run their mouth. Okay. Soulmates, as you know, we are not mature enough to discuss a lot of things. And this next game is no different. We're going to play a game of cuff, smash, or pass. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's play. Let's get into it. All right, let's cue the music. Here are 3 choices. Oh, y'all, please. Andrew Caldwell, a.k.a. Mr. Delivered. Charles, a.k.a. Miss Netta's Man.
Hell
and
no.
Holly Ray, Hot Wheels, smash, pass, or marry.
I'm going to pass all 3 of them to Armand.
Absolutely not. I'm passing those. I'm walking straight past those. Nah, I don't want to. Roller Ray, I couldn't do nothing with that. I would have thought, maybe Roller Ray can give me some throat, but the way that the team is set up, you can't even give me no throat, so that doesn't work any kind of way. Charles, Charles looked like he got gas. Andrew Caldwell looked like he paint. So if I had to pick one, just give me Charles.
Okay.
Claudia.
Al.
I already went.
It wasn't. Then I'll let me respond.
Okay. I got to pick one to do what?
Smash. Pass.
Oh, God. Okay, let me see.
Okay.
Pass. Andre. Smash. The boy in the middle. And what is the other one?
Make your boyfriend.
Oh, no. I'm not good at
this. But you could be your boyfriend. You could just cheat on him, though, all the time. He wouldn't be able to run and catch you.
I guess I messed this up. I don't know. The options got me messed up.
Andrew Caldwell definitely got to go because he's a major hater too, and I don't like you. Roland Ray gets brand deals, and Charles already is. Well, Charles has abs now.
Yeah.
But he's been with Miss
But
Netta.
Charles can make you feel safe.
Okay, so I'll
And
marry
Claudia can't cook.
I'll marry Charles, and I'll smash Rolling Ray, and then I'll leave. I want to thank my co-host, and Armand Wiggins for joining me tonight. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for Foxhole Face Off. We'll see you tomorrow. And Rolling Ray, that wasn't Shane. Hey, Rolling Ray, let's put that.